everybody. Hello, my biddies. I love you all. Oh, weather's awful today. I was already out and back this morning because I was not going to try it this afternoon. I mean, I probably would have been okay. The weather's supposed to warm up, but it is icy. Woo. There's I sent a picture. Well, there you go. Um, it's not going to work, but there's, I don't know how to get it bigger. You can actually see it, but, that's kind of what my trees look like right now. Look at options, make it bigger. I don't think it's gonna make the page bigger though. Put it in the wrong one, apparently. That's okay. It's just a picture of all the ice. I sent it to my husband, and he's like, he says, fill a bucket, make sure everything's all the devices are charged. But it's supposed to get 35. It's gonna melt off in no time. It's already 33. Is it still 33? I don't know. Is it still 33? Let's check. Nope. No, 31 now. I don't know where it's 31. It's 33 at my house. I have something to show you. My children went out for brunch. So there's that. So this is a lovely piece of pineapple pie. This is a family tradition, which we didn't do last year. So I'm going to be eating that while we talk. um, because I have always wanted to try it with caramel sauce, and I've never had the opportunity. And then last year, I got the caramel sauce. And did you think we made a pineapple pie last year? No, not one. Not one pineapple pie did we make last year. Why? I don't know. I don't know. I had to brave the weather this morning to go out, and so we set a budget every year for each of the kids. So they all get the same amount spent on them, so to speak. But of course, there's things don't cost the same, and they don't tell you what they want. Hint, hint. So you have to guess. So we guessed a few things. We got a couple people, a lot of, several things on their list. And then, but there's always, gaps and stuff. So we like do the rest with cash. So they get a little bit of cash. They can get $20 of cash. They can get $150 of cash or more. It just depends on what the budget was that year um, and how much we spent on them or how much we decided to spend on them. So uh, I forgot on Christmas Eve to go to the bank and get the cash, which is fine because our Christmas with my kids is not till tomorrow. So I knew I'd have to do it today. My husband says, I'm like, well, it's okay. We'll just do it on Friday. He says, what if something happens? I'm like, what could possibly happen? Well, I didn't account for weather, apparently. I did not account for weather happening. So weather's happening right now. It is freezing rain. Luckily, the first wave kind of skipped us and went east, but the second wave's definitely hitting so I left at like 9:30ish, probably not even quite 9:30. I was gonna get coffee. I was gonna make a stop maybe. Mm-mm. No, when I got off the highway, my windows were icing up. I'm like, "Yep, going to the bank, going back home. Going to the bank, and I'm going back home." So I went to the bank. We chit chatted for a while, and the one lady there was from the east of us, and she's like, "Yeah, 69 was mess coming in." Uh, she said 23 was fine, which is the highway nearest us. And it was still fine when I went up there, but Driveway felt a little slick when I left. The roads were fine. By the time I got on our main road to come back here, off the highway, it was noticeably icing up. And then the trees started icing up, and now everything's iced over. But it's supposed to be 35 in a couple hours and for a couple hours, so I think it'll melt off. I think it'll be fine. But I'm glad I went this morning just in case it doesn't melt off. Um, so yeah, that was fun. Had a fun time doing that. I still have not watched any reality TV. It's been what, a week? More than a week? I'm a terrible person, I know. Um, so we'll have to get to that later. I apologize. I do. Um, hopefully I'll have some time Sunday, unless I do a bonus episode on Sunday. Um, my whole month got messed up by the Monday thing because I thought I would have 2 more days to record than I am having. Because if I recorded on Monday and
It's all a photo op. You guys think it's funny? People's lives are funny to you? Karma is a bitch. Wait till it comes back at you.
Hey, Greg, I got a question for you.
Remember that. Karma is a bitch. Wait till it comes back for you.
I know I lost on rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, brace yourself.
Okay.
Brace yourself.
Who do I get to ask the question about ICE hiring requirements?
Karma is a bitch. Remember that.
Is there someone
Are we still live? Or I don't even know what's happening right now. I'm so frustrated. Don't even know what to do. Don't even know how long that was out. I can't believe this. This is stupid. Well, it's working again because I forgot to do the stupid mic thing. So I know that the last hour is basically nothing. 45 minutes anyway. I'm just gonna cut it out. I'm just gonna cut it out in the thing. Anyway, so why is it doing that? It's supposed to share. There we go. So she had a $20,000. Holy cow, who spends $20,000 on a meal? Okay, so 18,000 of it was wine. 1,800 was food. They didn't drink much liquor or beer, but man, what kind of wine were they drinking? These old pizzas. Craziness. They did leave her a $4,500 a $4,250 tip, which is nice. That's a nice paycheck. Good for you. Sorry, I'm frustrated and defeated now. I'll get back to it. I'll get back to it. So they were only 11 people. They ordered $25,000 worth of food and drinks. That's insanity. 2 tables for 20K sales. I'm in the wrong restaurant. That's more than a week of my sales. And Tommy Teaser says that's 18K in wine sales. I would love to know what they were drinking. Holy cow. That's insanity. And that was the one that was deleted. All right, we're back on track. I'm just going to take all of that out in post. I'm just going to take it all out in post. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how long the mic wasn't working because of power. Thank you. Consumers power, you strike again. Next, we have Petty Revenge, entitled, My Brother Keeps Leaving Piss All Over the Toilet Seat, so I gave him a taste of his own medicine. I'm a girl and I have a twin brother. I live with my dad, brother, and mom, so the 4 of us. I kid you not, every single morning there's piss on the toilet seat. Oh, she lives with me. My husband's constantly complaining about it, but I swear he does it just as much as I do. Like, I haven't even been in there. How can it be me? I told my father how disgusting it is, plus it can't be that wanging hard to aim at the toilet and not outside it. At that point, I tell him to piss on the floor and he'd somehow miss it and he'd scolded my brother the next day. Same crap. At this point, I grew tired of it, so anytime I saw piss on the toilet or on the toilet seat, so I'd quite literally call for him to get his butt in here and clean it after himself. He'd go on and rant about how it's not me, BS, and would refuse to clean up after himself, and then I'd threaten to call our dad and he'd clean up. I have to say this seems like nothing, but once I had a friend over, and my very close friend said there was piss all over the toilet seat, which is what tipped me off the edge. Yeah, at least lift the seat up, guys. Come on. What are you doing? I felt embarrassed and I knew I'd somehow made him pay back. Plus, you know what's going all over everywhere. Ugh, men. Ugh. Not only is it disgusting and unhygienic, it's constant denial and lack of accountability that pisses me off. See what I did there? So I decided to take things into my own hands. Every time I cleaned up after him using the toilet, I'd sprinkle water all over the seat and leave. Sometimes I'd add a little yellow watercolor for the fun, and soon enough I noticed results. I made sure he doesn't notice that I was the last to go to the bathroom. And whatever he'd say or ask anything about it, I'd just say, "It's not me." And then my dad would walk in on the piss and would yell at my brother, to which his "It's not me" card was, in fact, true this time, and so on. And so I thought it was solved, but 3 days ago I still found piss because I knew because I walked in after him. So I took it up a notch. Ooh, girl's getting serious. Once his friends arrived, I knew it was time. I placed the piss evidence and went out to the living room where I asked him, "Bro, why didn't you wipe the seat after you pissed all over it and even got on the floor? Aim better." Then he proceeded to pull the "It's not me, seriously, WTF, it has to be dad" card on me. I said, "Bro, I literally saw you leave the bathroom. It's okay. We have weird habits, but you've got to stop for real." To say he looked embarrassed is an understatement. He later confronted me and genuinely told me that I had to have bad because really isn't me. It's fun to think this whole time he just assumed it was dad, so he didn't say anything because of it. I still didn't tell and don't plan to. So far, my besides my piss stain, he's been cleaning up his own mess. Mission hopefully accomplished. Bane and Amista says he only stopped after the public embarrassment. We need to bring this back so badly. Yeah. If you've asked somebody to do something and they haven't done it and et cetera, um, public embarrassment's your next option. It sometimes works. Somebody said public embarrassment is an insanely useful tool to teach manners and decency to people who otherwise can't be reasoned with. My grandma used to comment on my sister's body regularly. At one point, something snapped in me after I saw my sister in new tears, so I yelled at my grandmother on the dinner table with guests over that I never wanted to hear her speak like that to my sister again. Some family drama ensued, especially from my dad, because how dare I embarrass him in front of the guests? Because I guess that's more important than his mom making his daughter cry. But guess what? My grandma hasn't dared to comment on my sister's body since, and it's been several years, because she know I'll probably shame her again if she does. Kat says, when my elders speak out of pocket, I look concerned. What an absolutely insane thing to say to anyone, let alone someone you profess to love. Is this a sign of dementia? Do we need to take you for testing? Oh, I thought you were just being an asshole because you didn't think I'd call you on it. Well, I won't comment on your body if you don't comment on mine. I had an uncle who tried to shame me for not coloring my gray hair, which I love. And he was so morbidly obese he needed two people to help him out of a recliner. Yeah, I had a brother-in-law once comment on Christmas Day that I had too many carbs on my plate. It was the first sign of dementia, though. Yeah, he has Alzheimer's really bad now. It's getting really bad. So I do feel sorry for him, but don't comment on other people's food. Don't comment on what they're eating. Don't comment on their bodies. Leave people alone. My grandmother used to do that to me too. You're getting fat. Well, now I'm fat, so maybe if you hadn't said that. So, I'm not sure. I guess that is the expectation. Okay, it's from Expectation versus Reality, called How Did I Do? He says he's beautiful to me. I hope my dinner guests like him too. I guess this is the expectation. And then I think they did excellent. That's an excellent job. I don't like those teeth though. They're freaking me out. Yeah, it's exactly the same. The icing's a bit darker, but that only means it's better. Because color equals flavor, right? If you know, you know. So use 2 bay leaves. All right. It's that time. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. I try to go live at least 4 times a week, usually about noon Eastern time. Obviously, this week and next week are totally messed up. I'm gonna try to do a makeup day at some point. Probably, if not sooner, it will be January 10th because My husband's going to be busy that day. So I'll do all the December ones that we didn't manage to get in. If you have a story of your own or come across a good one in the wilds, please send us an email entitled submission. If you would like an email link to the current day's live before we go live, you can send an email entitled subscribe. The email is biddybrunchbunch, all one word, at gmail.com. And the email address is also in the description, along with the Rebecca Park link to change.org. And also, make sure you tell everybody. Tell everybody. We need some peeps up in here. Okay, this is from Diddle Gone Wild. It's called Lord of the Rings inspired mansion sits on 30 acres in Utah for $43 million. And this almost looks like we've already seen this one. I don't know, maybe not. Oh, come on. Here we go. The pictures might be different though. We might have already seen this one, but I don't care. I don't really remember that picture, but that's cool. Got lots of garage. Yeah, I think this is one of the roundy houses we saw. It's very nice. I think these are different pictures though. $43 million, guys. This is what $43 million will get you in Utah. Even the sidewalks and the driveways around. That's really cool, that walkway between the sections of the house over the river. Look at that. That is cool. That is neat. I think the last time we saw this, I swear it's the same one, but it didn't have one of our biddies is texting me. She says she'll watch later. Oh. So I text her back, dude, I'm doing a live here. She'll get it. She'll get it when she sees the live, right? I wonder what that is. I don't know what that is. A little weird. It's over the stove. I wonder if it's one of those pot filler things. I want one of those. Yeah, that's got to be what that is. It's a little faucet over your stove that you can use to put water in your stove rather than carrying it back and forth. Which is a really cool idea. Why didn't we think of this 100 years ago? I have no problems with this house so far. Was that kitchen white? I can't remember. Probably because I like the stove faucet. It has a name. It's probably not a stove faucet. That's cool. That's really cute. We have seen this house before, so I remember that. I don't think it had this much furniture in it before. No. This must be a different link or something. I remember the Jesus picture. So we have seen this before. I just don't remember furniture being in it. I could be remembering wrong. Because I can't re-envision it. Aphantasia. I don't think we saw quite this many pictures of it though. There's like 100 pictures now. They're really trying to get rid of this house. This weird little egg-shaped tub is funny. The faucet's really funny too. Seems like you'd lose a lot of heat. Or is that just a shelf and that's the faucet? Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I probably am wrong. Monkey beds. for the visitors. Visitors' kids, anyway. Only 5 people. You can only have 5 people watch your movie with you. I would have second row on that, personally. So you could have at least 10. That would be enough for my family. Playroom, it says play. Yes, thank you, Captain Obvious. It's a nice house. I'll never be able to afford it. I'll never be able to buy this house. That is a really big. That was not in the other one. That scene right there was not in the last time we looked at this house. I started clicking on the links because the Reddit posts usually don't have all the pictures I found out. Through experimentation. Sauna. Yes, I pronounced sauna correctly. Maybe you don't, but I do. It was drilled into me by some people I know. The pool and a pond. How deep does that pond go? I do like this house. It's a nice house. It's a very, very, very fine house. If I had this house, I would have a pool boy and a maid. So it would be the only way I'd be able to afford this house. Another room with a bunch of bunk beds. How many grandkids do these people have? It is nice. I definitely would enjoy it. I mean, turn it into bed and breakfast so we can come stay, because that would be cool. My whole family could stay in that house. It has enough bedrooms, for sure. So it is 6 bedrooms, 10 bathrooms. You probably only need like 7, 8 bathrooms. I don't need 10. 22, almost 23,000 square feet. Built in 2014 on 30 acres. It's nice. What is this over here? Does seem to have a lot of green, which usually means that there's some kind of park. Usually what that means, but I don't see a park name. It's near Mount Timpanogos. Panagus. It's not too far from like cities, which is nice. All right. Next we have Traumatize Them Back, and it is entitled Server Thought Creme Brulee Should Be Bernie, so I gave her a menu education. And it is flared as petty revenge, so we get 2 for 1. I'm 27 male pastry chef at a high-end restaurant in Portland. I do the dessert menu, have been here for 4 years, went to culinary school in Paris, the whole deal. Sounds like a legit pastry chef. Cool. Young, too. So I hired the server named Ashley maybe 3 months back. She's early 20s, super bubbly with customers, which is great. But she started doing this thing where she'd come back to the kitchen and tell me how customers wanted their desserts modified. You don't really modify desserts. If you don't like something that's on the dessert, don't order that dessert. Like, I wouldn't order a dessert with coconut or cantaloupe because I don't like those things. First time she asked if we could do the chocolate tart without the gold leaf because a customer thought it was too fancy. What? I was like, sure, okay, weird, but whatever. Plated it plain. Then it became constant. She asked if we could make the creme brulees less burny on top. This literally the entire point of creme brulee. Yeah. I mean, you literally take a torch and burn it. She wanted me to do our Earl Grey panna cotta without the Earl Grey because someone didn't like tea. Just like make different dessert at that point. No kidding. It's Earl Grey panna cotta. That's what it's supposed to be. If you don't like Earl Grey, don't order the Earl Grey panna cotta. This is not rocket surgery, people. I tried explaining the menu was designed in a certain way. These were my recipes. But she'd do this thing where she'd be like, but the customer really wants it with this pouty face. And I didn't want to be the want to be the difficult chef stereotype. So I usually try and modify it. No, don't. Don't. You have a vision in mind. Don't modify your vision. People can order something else. I was getting ridiculous though. My sous chef asked why we were basically running a custom dessert operation. I said, I don't know. Keep trying to keep Ashley happy, I guess. Then last Saturday we were slammed. Full restaurant, 2-hour wait list. Wow. Busy. And Ashley comes back during the dinner rush to say that table 8 wants a deconstructed apple tart, but can we put it back together because they don't understand why it's all spread out like that. I'm kind of a foodie, so this is really irritating me. Like, no, no, it's deconstructed for a reason. I make a deconstructed cabbage roll because I hate rolling the cabbage. So I just deconstruct it, put it in a casserole, just call it a day. It would taste the same. Doesn't really matter. I was so done. I just stopped what I was doing and was like, Ashley, why did they order the deconstructed apple tart if they wanted a regular apple tart? She got all defensive, like they didn't know what deconstructed meant. I wiped my hands on my apron and walked out to table 8 myself. My chef de cuisine was like, what are you doing? But I was already going. I got to the table, I introduced myself, and I said heard there was some confusion about the dessert. They seemed kind of surprised to see me. I explained that deconstructed meant we are serving the components separately so you could enjoy each element. But they preferred a traditional preparation. I could absolutely make them our classic tarte tatin instead. They're actually really cool about it and said that makes sense. We'll try it as designed. I walked back to the kitchen and Ashley followed me and said, you made me look bad. I said, no, you were making me remake dishes all night because you aren't explaining the menu properly, and that's literally part of your job. She complained to her manager that I went over her head. Manager pulled me aside and explained the whole 3 months of modifications. Manager was like, wait, you've been doing custom orders every night? When I told him everything, he basically said Ashley needs to actually read the menu descriptions and understand what she's selling before taking orders. They made her do a full menu tasting the next day. Oh, that's a good way to get in trouble. You get to taste desserts. That sounds like a real punishment there. She had to try every dessert and learn what everything was. She's barely talking to me since, except for absolutely necessary. That's fine. That's fine. You don't need her. The less she says to you, the better. The less modifications you'll have to make. But like I spent years developing these recipes, you can't just crowdsource the menu based on whatever random request comes in. Also, maybe don't tell a pastry chef how to make desserts when you thought creme brulee was supposed to be soft on top. No, it's supposed to be hard. You're supposed to be able to punch it down. Savish Dumpling quoted their part about the deconstructed apple tart and regular tart thing. It says, I think she didn't know the meaning of deconstructed. Oh. Flo Mo Joe Blow says, I think Ashley's creme brulee was a little burned on the top. And so he says, all brulee with no creme underneath it. Brulee sans creme. This is why I go to Reddit. They're funny. Brulee sans creme. That's funny. I like in this that instead of dressing down, she got a traditional training. And somebody answered, and desserts. How do I have to misbehave to be punished like that? See, I am not the only one who thinks that. Next, we have confession, and it is entitled, I use my company credit card to feed one homeless person per meal. My company rakes in billions of profits. I work high-level sales role for a top 50 company, AI sales engineer. Often I have to travel to work to different high priced cities across the globe: London, Paris, San Francisco, New York City, Sydney, etc. My meal stipend is over $300 a day for these big cities, giving everything is pricey. This is only while I travel, not every single day. So if I'm buying 4 tacos for lunch, we'll just make it 6. Throw in an extra water bottle instead of 1. Maybe add 2 more chips to go with that meal. And are they really going to judge me for overeating so much food that it's still under the policy? Doubt. Can't do this every single day, but happens fairly frequently. Technically unethical and worthy of being fired, but society has enough issues. Been handing it for the last 2 years, no stopping now. It always brings me a smile to both mine and their face, being handed a warm, nice, full meal. That's very nice. That's very Robin Hood of you. It's not going to hurt their bottom line. And they're just dissing on him. That's mean. That's mean. He's doing a nice thing for people. Leave him alone. Oh, this is interesting as Wang. And I've actually already seen this before. Oh, it's no longer available. What? That's no fun. That's no fun at all. What the heck? I'm so sad. It's Tom the horse, and he pretends to be dead so no one can ride him. He lays down and pretends to be dead so no one can ride him. And he's really cute. And sometimes he can't get back up, and his owner has to get him back up. Okay, let's see if we can find another one. Interesting. That stinks. I really wanted to show you the horsey. I like the horsey. Yeah, I can make it. I can find another one. I have to mark it that I couldn't read it. Okay. All right. This is entitled "A Smart Young Lady Outsmarts a Potential Abductor." Ooh, okay. Oh, shoot.
Aware of her surroundings. This could have been really bad. Now the car doesn't give up,
Back over again.
and she doesn't know who this is. It's been.
All right.
You see,
Sorry
this
about
car
that.
slows up, and the little girl realizes the car slows up, so she stops right behind the truck and she waits, and she stays patient. She could tell something is wrong. Thank God she's aware of her surroundings. This could have been really bad. Now the car doesn't give up. And she doesn't know who this is. It's been said that she doesn't know who this is. He comes back around the other side to see where she is, and she walks back towards the front, staying aware the entire time. Car backs up. She walks to the back of the truck now. She's not in the sight of this vehicle and the person driving. Thank God.
Wow, smart kid. That's how you do it, kids. That is how you do it. And also, don't try to abduct kids. What are you thinking? Islam says, I hope they find the POS. Me too. The JD says, someone posted the link. Thanks to some tips from our keen-eyed citizens, Vacaville's Vice unit was able to identify both the vehicle and the driver, the 24-year-old man from Vacaville, from this video. Today, the driver was interviewed, and the detectives are now following up on the statement he provided. The investigation is ongoing, but based on the evidence and statements they've gathered at this time, an arrest has not been made. With that being said, we will not be releasing the man's identity at this time. We do not believe the driver's intentions in this incident were related to human trafficking. Well, then what the heck was he doing? Yeah, what the heck? What was he doing? there's any updates from this. I don't know what that guy was doing. If he wasn't after her, what the heck was he doing? What was he doing? I don't trust him. I don't trust him. Do you trust him? Because I don't trust him. Next is from Am I the A-hole, AITA, for not making my daughter-in-law coffee and telling her I'm not a barista. Probably not. She can go get her own coffee, I'm sure. Edit, I sent this to my son and daughter-in-law. My son and Dill Emily are staying at our home probably for the next month due to water damage in their home. So you're not a guest. You're no longer a guest at that point. You're a tenant. The company is fixing the damage, but the flooring was damaged, so it's not very livable right now. I mean, that happens. They've only been here less than a week, and I'm having an issue. I work nights. I come home around 6:30 a.m. and then go to bed. My husband is usually up, so I make him coffee and breakfast before I turn in. Just something like I like to do. More quality time before he heads to work. I asked my son and Emily if they would also like coffee or breakfast before they go to work. They said no to food, but yes to coffee. That was easy. I just made 2 extra cups. I asked them to tell me if they wanted me to change how to make their coffee. I thought they would just tell me to use this cream, or if they had a preference on blend. Just make the coffee and leave it there black, and they can make their own coffee. Emily texted me last night and she said left the instructions for the coffee. This morning I come home to very detailed instructions on how to make complex coffee. It was like a Starbucks drink. She wanted foam milk on top, different syrups, special coffee being ground fresh, and a different brewing method. We have a drip coffee machine. Most of the other stuff was on the counter. No, you make 2 extra cups and you leave it in the carafe on the coffee machine. I don't have a drip coffee machine. I have French press, but I would make French press coffee, and hopefully I would have a carafe because my French press does not keep the coffee warm after it's made. So I would need a carafe or something, which I could get. I mean, they're like $15 I saw on. You can buy them this week at Aldi apparently. Um I decided I wasn't doing that and just made normal coffee. Emily wasn't happy, and we got into an argument before she went to work. I basically told her I'm not a Starbucks barista and not going to do all of that. She told me I shouldn't have offered in the first place if I wouldn't make coffee to her liking. We left on a sour note. I've been getting texts from my sons about not being hospitable. She's doing you a favor. She doesn't have to be hospitable about it. um, and they're having trouble sleeping. Should I just make the coffee? No, absolutely not. Strapo says, if your son's doubling down like that, it sounds like it's time for he and his entitled wife to seek new accommodations. Yeah, you can go stay in a hotel. You can go stay in a hotel. And so Soccer Problem answered that, yep, they have fun dealing with their insurance and getting put into a hotel room if they want to do that. From my experience, it sucks so much. So, OP, you're really doing them a favor. Yeah, I know people who've had to stay in hotels for weeks and weeks and over months because they didn't have someplace in their insurance. Had to put them up somewhere. But yeah, try the little tiny coffee maker at the hotel, dude, because that's what you deserve. OP answers, I don't believe this is a kick out offense. I already sent them the post, so I won't kick them out, but maybe if the situation gets worse, so we'll have a conversation when everyone is back from work. I need to sleep, so thanks to everyone that replied. Somebody told her they're being too nice. They reply, that doesn't make sense because I need to go to bed and much more of an energy drink person for night shifts. I don't mind making people coffee when I get back. This request was just too much. Gyration says, I think their point was they should be accommodating you, not you accommodating them. You're doing them a huge favor. And somebody deleted something, blah, blah, blah. I wonder if there's an update anywhere. update. Okay. That's fine. But no, when someone is doing you a favor, you don't make them go out of their out of their way to make you a special complicated 10-minute coffee drink. You can make your own coffee drink out of the coffee that they make. They were just asking if they needed to adjust like the strength of the coffee more than anything else. Jeez. This is from I Don't Work Here Lady, and it says, "Ma'am, I'm just trying to dress my headless child." It has emoji. I have a couple of these stories, but my favorite was when Kmart was closing. They still have Kmart's in Australia, by the way. Entire business went under, I guess, so you know what that means. Store sale on everything that's not nailed down, then maybe the things that are nailed down, if you ask nicely, which also included the mannequins. Me and my now ex friend decided it would be a great idea to buy some, dress them up, and make jokes about them being our kids. We named the boy version of our names, which happened to be the two names of killers from a movie. Okay. So you should just tell us what that's going to be. Anyway, we're running down the aisles, finding clothes for our headless children. And ever so often, people would come up and say, "Do you know where X is?" I live in a friendly area, and it's normal to ask other shoppers if they've seen an item. Plus, we have been there a few hours, and in fact, know where everything is was because of it. We tell people that come up and ask where to find our items and continue to mess around picking outfit. Finally, an old woman comes up and asks us where to find the Ark of the Covenant. Not really, I forget what she asked for, but it was something neither me and my friend or our headless children saw. We both sit there and think for a minute, and I say, "I think it's over there." My friend says, "No, I thought it was over there," and points elsewhere. We both take a moment before agreeing it might be on the other side of the store since we hadn't seen it. "Yeah, I think it's there." She gives us a confused look and kind of laughs and scoffs, not angrily, I guess just bewildered, be saying, "You don't know?" And I'm just like, "Yeah." We have an awkward R. Kelly moment. She looked at me and I looked at her and she looked at me before realizing she thought we worked there. Before I laughed it off and tell her we don't work there. We're just telling other shoppers where stuff was because we'd seen it around. Well, this lady had the audacity to ask me, "Well, then why are you dressing the mannequins if you don't work here?" As if we were just a couple of goth weirdo kids. Weren't just a couple of goth weirdo kids. So yeah, I still have my headless child. He lives in my family's basement. And they call me every so often, "Come take my son home." I want a headless child. Oh, I need the company. Chaos Draws Near says, "You just reminded me that I have two full-size mannequins acquired in the same way as your headless child, which also live in my parents' basement. My son sadly will not welcome them into the family." There's a chick on TikTok that has two skeletons in the back of her car that she all year round, like not just for Halloween, all year round, she dresses them up. They're named. They have names. It's funny. This is from Overheard, and it's entitled "Two Moms Are Real." My 7-year-old son R and the funny neighbor daughter T chatting about moms. R. My friend E has two moms. T. Oh, we don't believe in that. R. Yeah, well, I don't believe in the tooth fairy, but two moms is real, and I've been to their house. Good going, R. Good going. Goldilocks says, also, when I told E's mom, my best friend, about this exchange, she says, "You're the best mom ever." And I said, "Maybe, but apparently I'm a lousy tooth fairy." I admit I was a lousy tooth fairy. I always forgot. I'm like the worst. Nowadays, I probably wouldn't have forgotten, but because I have a phone and I could put a reminder in. But back in the day, before phones, uh, Zora the Ducky says, "My kid was about that age when she accused me of being the tooth fairy. Then she told me I'm a better tooth fairy than her father. We're not together. And she asked if I could bring all her teeth to me instead of letting her father have them. It was an interesting conversation. I have almost a full set of baby teeth just sitting creepily on my medicine cabinet, though. My dad gave me my baby teeth. He apparently had kept them all these years." This is from True Off My Chest, and it's entitled My friend died, and everyone keeps posting we were so close, but none of them were. My best friend died in a car accident 3 weeks ago. I am so sorry, OP. That is heartbreaking. I'm so, so sorry. Now my feed is full of people who barely knew her, writing long paragraphs, posting selfies they took once in high school, calling her my soul sister. It makes me feel physically ill. These people ignored her. Some even bullied her. Now they're performing grief for likes. They're young. Yeah. I haven't posted anything. I can't. My grief feels too real to package for Instagram, but I feel invisible for not saying anything. It's like the internet is rewinding who she is, and I can't stop it. Pure obligation says social media is hollow. On the bright side, her family will get some peace, feeling she was loved by so many. Let it slide. And then there's something. Oh, somebody posted, "Real grief doesn't need an audience." Luna Spoona says, "I don't know. Some people do. My aunt constantly posts about her sister, my other aunt, and my grandparents several times a day. It's how she deals with it. They were in the same year, so it hit quite hard. I didn't put a single post on there and told people I need on a need to know basis. People deal differently. She needs constant talk about them, whereas I cannot stand sympathy likes. Yeah, I have people that I know that will wax poetic on Facebook about losses and such, and it's just like I know them, and it's just like, okay, whatever. I'll put like an obituary. That's it. Obituary. This is where the funeral is. That's pretty much all I do. I'm just not into that. I can't. I'm not that eloquent. This is from What Do I Do? Entitled, My girlfriend poured a cup of rice water into rice jar instead of a pot. How do we save the rice? I mean, I don't, doesn't matter. We're making dinner, and the edible kicked in. She poured water into the wrong vessel. I saw it happen. Can we dry the rice? Do I add more rice? Fat Flat Fudge says, make the rice and freeze it for future use. You can't use dry ice to dry wet rice. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. That rice has got to be cooked. It's got to be cooked. Make some rice pudding. Tootsie Ferret says frozen rice is actually super handy for quick meals. Cool. Positive Library says cooking in a little coconut oil and then freezing make the starch into 60% insoluble starch. Healthier for the body. Won't spike the blood sugar, as rice consumption is one of the main causes risk for factors of type 2 diabetes in Asia. That's interesting. Faith Slayer says cooking rice and reheating it causes starch retrogradation. It makes it a resistant starch, which is better and it has similar effects to its dietary fiber. So you should make your rice and then freeze it, apparently. Good to know. Learn something new. Always like to learn something new. I'm going to do that from now on. All right, next we have entitled parents, entitled The Mom Who Demanded My Boyfriend Gave Up His Seat on His Own Birthday Dinner. So my 22-year female boyfriend turned 23 last week. Obviously, male. And we went to his small Italian place that's first come, first serve. It's one of those cozy spots where the tables are way too close together and you can basically hear every conversation around you. Anyway, we finally get a table after waiting 30 minutes, order a bottle of wine, and this family walks in with mom, dad, and 2 kids, and a teenage boy who looks like he'd rather be elsewhere. So 5 people, it sounds like. The hostess tells him it'll be a 25-minute wait. The mom immediately starts complaining that her kids are hungry and that it's ridiculous people are taking up big tables when they're just couples. First come, what part of first come, first served do you not understand? I mean, I've waited way longer than 25 minutes for a place because I had so many people with me. Even when we haven't, it's like I'm not that hungry yet. I can wait the 25 minutes. We've waited an hour before. Sometimes you just have to wait. It's not a big deal. Guess who she points at? Yep, us. She comes over, leans on our table, and goes, "You two don't mind moving so my family can sit, right? You can wait a bit longer. You're young." I literally thought she was joking. My boyfriend laughed awkwardly and said, actually, it's my birthday." She goes, "Then you should be a gentleman and offer your seat to a mother with a hungry children." No, absolutely not. It's not his fault your kids are hungry, dude. Feed them sooner. The waitress stepped in and told her she can't ask people to give up their tables. The mom rolls her eyes, huffed off, and whispered loud enough to hear, "People these days have no respect." And this, folks, is what we call projection. Her husband looked mortified. The rest of the night, she kept glaring over like we personally ruined her evening. So, yeah, happy birthday, babe. Here's a free sign of the audacity. Lucius Abbasus says, "Well, the kids can wait even longer. They're younger." Captain Lollygag says, "If her kids are so hungry, they literally can't wait just 25 minutes to eat. They've got bigger problems." And then somebody's complaining about AI. All right, next we have Bye Bye Job. And it says, "I didn't steal anything. That food was going to the garbage anyway. Airport employee who was fired after giving leftover sandwiches to homeless people said I'd do it again all over again." Can't say that they blame them. Gave away leftover airport sandwiches. So not even good sandwiches. It says you do it again. After 30 years of loyal service, he was dismissed for an airport worker is dismissed for giving leftover sandwiches to the homeless, but he has no regrets. He did it for 3 decades, 30 years. They did not include his name. He said, "I'm proud of what I did and I'd do it all over again." Good for you. They called it a serious violation of internal food safety protocols. It's always the food safety protocols. Says he didn't steal anything. At least 80 people have eaten because of those sandwiches. Wasn't a formal food program, but at least they didn't go to sleep hungry that night. I'm proud to have fed them. Apparently this was in France, and they're outraged, calling the firing cruel, inhumane, and grossly unfair. He'll get another job. Hopefully with a hopefully with a soup kitchen or something. Next we have Oh No Consequences. It's entitled, "Sir, This is an Applebee's." The original was from AITA. It looks like, no, it's from Am I the A-hole and Off My Chest. It's entitled AITA for flirting with 19-year-old girls and defending myself from being called a predator. Depends. Oh my gosh, you're 31. Yes, you're an a-hole. Original post May 24th, 2019. I'm 31 and recently ended a long-term relationship. I was broken. I recently went to this cool restaurant bar downtown with one of my buddies to have a good time. Anyone of any age can come in. While we were there, there was a girl celebrating her 19th birthday. They sang happy birthday and were allowed outside cake with 19 on it. The birthday girl was pretty, so I wanted to chat her up. "You're 31 years old, leave her alone." Ugh. Her friends were super cute too. Oh, you're so gross. My buddy told me to leave them alone and that they looked like babies. He didn't want me to go over at first, but since the breakup, every other woman but my ex has been invisible. So he went to wingman with me. Your friend had the fright. I've got to move. It's dear. Yep. Nope, there's still ice on that. We walked over and wished her a happy birthday, and I thought things were going well, and the women were laughing. Then all of a sudden, one of the girls snaps at me to take a wanging hint, R. Kelly. Ooh. Take a wanging hit, R. Kelly. I was taken aback and just said, "Excuse me," and she said to read the room and that they were uncomfortable. Another asked us to go away. I was going to, but it was really bothered by the R. Kelly comment. "Just leave. They don't want you there." Oh my goodness. I said it's winged up to call me a predator when we're all adults here. You're 31 years old and they are teenagers. My buddy wanted to leave, but I stood my ground. The birthday woman said that it didn't matter. It's weird for someone my age to hit on them, especially when they make it obvious they are uncomfortable. Then another R. Kelly comment by asking if she looked like Aaliyah to me, which upset me again. So leave! I apologize for making them uncomfortable. That didn't give them a right to call me a predator. One of the women said it was a personal problem. I said that adults are allowed to hit on the adults. It's not a crime. One woman just asked why I was still standing there and yelled at me to go away. I was pissed off, and when I left, their entire table was singing Remix to Ignition. I laughed and laughing their asses off. I was furious and humiliated. When we sat back down, I was seething. My buddy said that it was my fault for not seeing the signs that they were uncomfortable. To him, it was obvious. He wanted to go. He called me delusional. Your friend, listen to him. Listen to his friend. Dude, come on. Delusional. I can't find it. Okay. I pointed out that they were laughing, and he said that was just uncomfortable laughter, which probably was. I told him that I had every right to be mad about being called a predator when they were all 18 and 19. Again, teen, teenagers, and you're a 31-year-old man. It's a horrible accusation to make. My ex was 6 years older than me. He said they weren't calling me a predator, but just weird for going for teens. He said it was wrong of them to sing after me, that it was bullying. No, I don't think so. I should have left long before that. I felt like he should have stuck up for me. Was I wrong for sticking up for me or hitting on them in the first place? Yes. I was respectful and not creepy at all. Sure, right, right. That's why they were uncomfortable. Because you weren't at all creepy. You're just 31-year-old man hitting on teenage girls. Edit. For the record, I do date women my age and older. This was the first time I approached a much younger woman. Well, don't do that again, okay, sir? Edit. Another edit. All right, guys, I get it. I left my pride get in the way of things here. Can't fix it. We'll do better in the future. Next time. Wicked Nick says, relevant comments. YTA, for being creepy and not taking a hint and arguing about it with women who asked you to leave. You're upset about being called a predator, but don't seem to care that your inappropriate behavior made a group of women in public feel uncomfortable. Taco Belly says, typical nice guy. This is why I call nice guys. This guy's a nice guy. I'd rather have a good guy. Good guys for the win. Corin20 says, the table singing remix to Ignition was also hilarious in how badly it pissed off the OP. Miss Brightside said he's extra YTA for standing his ground. When they asked him to leave, what did he think would happen? They would admire his persistence and realize they were wrong all along, and he was actually a nice guy who they should all sleep with. He's probably trying to get an orgy going. Sorsha says, or they all looked sheepish and he could leave like a boss having owned all those bitchy women. And that was easy, says the entire restaurant would clap. Sorsha answered that with, and all the women would throw their knickers at the clear alpha male. Reptilian Fool says, YTA, the fact that both the girls and your friend easily recognized that it was creepy to hit on her should tell you that it wasn't okay. And probably untrue answered, the rare moment that an AITA post turns out to be the asshole. Praise be. And Free the Butthole says, YTA, you're 31 hitting on a 19-year-old. You can't confirm how old the other girls were, probably around 17, 18, and 19. That's very creepy, and you made them feel uncomfortable and then didn't take a hint and then got mad when they had to be mean to you for you to go away, and you still didn't go away. This is predatory behavior. Not really sure what you thought was going to happen. And it was removed before the verdict was rendered. One of the women in the group found the post. This is from May 25th, 2019, and it's entitled, "We Call the Guy Trying to Hit on Us R. Kelly. We Sang Ignition. He made a post about it at Wayback Machine," and this is May 25th, 2019. I never had a Reddit account before, but my journalism TA showed us it, and sometime I'll just check out the front page news for news. Earlier, I saw a post up there that basically described my birthday dinner like 3 weeks ago. At first, I didn't GAF, but now I just feel the need to clarify a few things. Even though I know most people called him an a-hole, some people got aggy about the R. Kelly comment in the singing Ignition. It was it mean? Yes. Am I done? But I'm done being nice to creeps. It was not a bar. It was a bar and grill, but mainly it was a restaurant that just happened to serve drinks, like Applebee's. We were sitting near a family, so we weren't in a setting where people would go to get hit on. We were minding our own business and acting in the corner booth. He came and wished me a happy birthday. I said thanks, and we all went back to our conversation. I did appreciate being told happy birthday, but he stuck around. We laughed uncomfortably and went back to our conversation. He stuck around and kept interrupting us. Each time he said something, we nodded and turned our backs to him. Guy can't take a hint. We said thank you, bye a few times, but he was still standing there talking to us. His friend kept finding excuses to leave. I was annoyed, uncomfortable, and disgusted, but I gave him a respectful, okay, have a good night. Here's some cake for home, bye. But he grabbed the cake and sat down in our booth. He said, the night's not over yet. This guy's just a jerk. Holy cow. Then my friend just snapped, and if she didn't, I was going to. Then she called him R. Kelly. She wasn't accusing him of being a pedo, but a creep. 30-year-old guys who hit on us are okay. It says OUR, that's why it's throwing me off. Yeah, his friend would do, back him up. The great newbie says, what did he hope his friend would do? Back him up? Yeah, I think he did expect his friend to back him up. His friend's way smarter than him, though. He knows that it's creepy for a 31-year-old man to hit on teenage girls. It's so gross. It's so gross. When he My friend snapped, and if she didn't, I was going to. When she called him R. Kelly, she wasn't accusing him of being a pedo, but a creep. 30-year-old guy who hit on us are creepy and disgust us. Point blank, period. We were nice the entire time, and I even gave him a million hints and a cake for the road. His friend was even finding reasons for them to leave. Then he had the audacity to sit there and fight us on it. I told him that he was way too old for us, and it was creepy from the start. When he left, we started singing Ignition among ourselves, not singing it after him. It's a throwback that our parents put on us. Instead of crying over our night being ruined by a creep, we turned it into a fun moment with karaoke. P.S. When he asked our age and gave us his, we became a million times more uncomfortable. Guy was 30 trying to get with 18-year-olds at a birthday party. We're used to old men bothering us, and it's always gross. To the if he wasn't ugly crowd, he was decent looking, fit guy. If I never met him, I'd set him up with my aunt, but he was in his 30s, and that is way too old. This isn't porn. I haven't met a single girl desperate for a 30-year-old divorced dick. Being called legal is demeaning. Everything about it was sickening. When he came over to announce his age and then ask us ours, I almost yacked. Like he was IDing us at a family restaurant. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Wang out of here. I'm tired of having to be polite to guys who are creepy and disrespectful. Edit. 30-year-olds aren't gross by being 30. Everyone gets older. 30-year-olds who bother you to flirt during birthday dinners are. Edit. I really appreciate the support, but please don't spend your money on gold for me. That's not why I posted, but I do appreciate it. Oh my. Oh my. I cannot believe this guy is so gross. He's so gross. Oh. Dirk Baby Punch says his buddy didn't go to Wingman. His buddy went to keep him from getting pepper sprayed and arrested. Dude knew the entire time it was a terrible idea and couldn't talk dipshit out of trying. Yeah, no kidding. Oh my goodness. Don't do that, guys. This is a really good one. It's in Wang Yu Karen. Woman who fatally shot mother of four threatens to sue victim's kids. So she shot their mother and killed her. And now she's going to sue the kids. And of course, it's Florida woman. Because where else would something like this take place? Susan Lawrence, a 61-year-old white woman, was sentenced to 25 years in prison last year after she was convicted of manslaughter, only manslaughter, in the death of her neighbor, Ajike, Ajike. I don't know how to pronounce that. Sorry. Owens, a 35-year-old black woman. The shooting came after disagreements over Owens' children playing on a grassy area near both their houses in Ocala, which means they weren't even in her yard. The disputes leading up to the killing are detailed in the documentary film The Perfect Neighbor, which began streaming on Netflix last month. Owen's mother filed a wrongful death suit against her and the man who owned and operated the quadplex for damages that exceed $50,000 on her estate. Lawrence said in response, filed in September, that she wants to countersue Diaz, 3 of Owen's children, and the man who owned and operated the quadplex for damage that exceeded $50,000. But she has yet to formally file a suit. Why would you do that? She shot through a closed door after Owens knocked on the door to ask her about an incident. She's out here killing people. Yeah, she deserves to be in jail. I'm glad she got 25 years, so maybe she'll be in jail the rest of her life. Hopefully. Billy Marie said she'll do it. If you watch the documentary, you know she's going to do it. And Fresh Out of Patience says she totally will. She's such a garbage human. For sure. I don't have Netflix right now, so I can't even watch that documentary. Sad me. This is from Am I Overreacting? And it says, AIO to skip Thanksgiving after my mother basically said I'm an embarrassment for not having a husband and kids by now. She's 35. And it's not its business whether she's married or not. Oops, sorry. Sorry if this hurts your feeling. She gets only one feeling, apparently. But it's time for some tough love. You made a mistake when you broke it off with Jerry. What his name is. I know you didn't feel like what he did, but giving up over was stupid. Everyone has a family, your sister, your brother, cousins. Doesn't that make you feel embarrassed? Why should it make them feel embarrassed to be the only one without a family? Doesn't it make you feel lonely? I mean, some people might not. You are too old for roommates. It's time to grow up. Just my 2 cents. Don't shoot the messenger. Oh, I think we can. Love you, sweetie. Just something to think about. Yikes. I am a 35 female and single for 3 years. I was engaged, but Charles, sorry, I was wrong. It wasn't Jerry, it was Charles. Was doing weird sexting role play with people on a video game, which was wanging disgusting. Yep. It really wanged me up, and yes, I've been in therapy. I have dated since, but nothing serious. I have never had my mom say something like this to me. The great newbie says, quoted just something to think about, and then an eye roll emoji. Just something to think about. These people, I tell you. I have never had my mom say something like this to me. I do not want to go to Thanksgiving after this. She said, don't shoot the messenger. It's clear the rest of my family have been talking about me, and she was the one elected to say it. Why? She was in a relationship for how long? And it's only been 3 years. It takes like 2 years to get over a relationship to begin with, if you would do it properly. I don't want to drive 2 hours just to sit there with people who think I should stay in a relationship with a wangy cheating degenerate little bitch. Would I be overreacting for not going? Is that too much? I honestly too hurt and angry to be objective right now. Would you ever say this to your daughter? No. My daughter has her own life. I mean, if she was single, that would be fine with me. She's not, but if she were, that would be okay. Like, I have a good job, I'm educated, I have friends and hobbies, I own my own condo, I have 3 car payments left. Good for you. Good for you, OP. I have a cat. Why is this the be all and end all of having a husband and kids? I don't know. I'm pissed. Help me. Hey, I have a sister-in-law who didn't get married till she was 40. It can happen. Don't push people into being in relationships. That's how you get your kid into a bad relationship, is by pushing them to get into a relationship. Don't do that. Be better. Free says, you put you first, don't have to satisfy their needs. You may choose to be single or raise a child on your own or find a man who is your match. Not all men are sex perverts. Life has a fun way of getting us where we need to be. It's okay to let families stew in their own juices. You deserve to do life the way you see fit. Yep. Go be you and keep doing a fantastic job. And hugs. Cheating degenerate little bitches is amazing. Bicycle Distinct says this feels hella Filipino. It's been a week. Can you update this? I wonder if there's an update. Oh, there's 2 updates. The first one is, oh, no, that's a post. Never mind. Hold on. Let me go back. No, there's no updates. At least not an update post. um okay, there's an update. Okay. She says, 1, I did not go to Thanksgiving. I spent the day with my roommate and friend. We went on a hike, made stuffed shells, decorated for Christmas, and had a nice time. That's nice. 2, I told my family why I wasn't coming. I sent the same screenshot to the family group chat. This led to multiple people texting me outside of the chat to tell me it's not the first time my mom had said things like this about me, and I was correct that other family joined in. Not everyone, which is important. 3, Mom again told me she wouldn't apologize, having my best interest at heart. This is when I found out that she had been talking to Charles since the breakup, and telling him she would work to get us back together. Mind you, it was 3 years ago. She told me that she knows I will come around, and then insinuated that I needed therapy to get me there. I do not understand why she wouldn't let go of him. He wasn't rich, didn't have a prestigious job, or any of those big things you'd think a parent would get stuck on. So it wasn't anything like that. I truly don't know. Maybe he was having some fun with mom, and mom's upset he's not around anymore. I mean, she did say he was cheating. 4, I told her that until she breaks it off contact with Charles and lets go of that, she cannot be a part of my life. That's fair. She said that she refuses to let go of the hope that I will see the error of my ways. And again, she's just looking out for my best interest. No, she's not. Who wants a cheater for their daughter's husband, their daughter's partner? No, absolutely not. So to all of this, I say that unfortunately, I will be no contact with my mom until further notice. This is heartbreaking for me, as I never had this sort of issue with my mom. It never seemed like something I would do. Yes, I'm getting negative feedback from other members of my family. I don't know what to tell them. Anyway, on December 3rd, I was out shopping, met a great gal. We have been hanging out since, and I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes. The first morning after at my place, she woke up early and made me and my roommate breakfast and remembered my roommate's nut allergy. It's just a little bit that was incredibly sweet for me. So there's your update. Well, moms might not be happy with the female partner. Crazy Carousel said, "This might be a shot in the dark, but does your mom know you're bi? Because she could be pushing you towards a man you've already almost married because she worries you'll end up with a woman. Just a thought." And OP answers, "A couple of people have brought something similar up, and while I can't say I know what's really in her heart because I'm not her, she's never given me a reason to think she has an issue with me dating women. I dated one for years before Charles, and my mom loved her, and the three of us spent a lot of time together. The first time I dated another girl, no one batted an eye. I truly don't think there's anything homophobic going on. Could be that your mom has gotten grandma fever and wants a grandbaby pronto. Don't push your kids to have babies. Nobody should have a baby unless they absolutely want a baby. Babies are hard. Babies are difficult. Babies take a lot of time and energy. Not everybody has time and energy for that, especially the energy part. Next, we have Best of Redder updates, and it's entitled, "I got summoned for injuring my neighbor's kid who hurt herself on my property." The original post was in Legal Advice on August 27th, 2017, California, USA. "I was served with a paper to be summoned in small claims court, and I'm being sued by my neighbor for $10,000 in damages. Long story short, my neighbor's kids, around 6 years old, were playing in my front yard without my knowledge or consent, and one of them climbed onto my water fountain. I heard a large crash, and I found out my fountain was destroyed and toppled over on top of the child. I had to call 911 since the child was bleeding badly. Now, here we are. I just got served with papers to show up in court. My neighbor is making up excuses saying I failed to secure my fountain and that it was a tragic accident waiting to happen. They are suing me for damages and medical bills for their kid. What should I do to prepare myself? Is there any counter argument that, especially since it was private property and the kid should have never been climbing on my fountain in the first place?" $10,000. I think I would get a lawyer involved. On the other hand, sometimes you are responsible for things in your yard. No Password said, "I think they would have to prove it was an attractive nuisance," which I guess means if your fountain looked like a water slide, you might be in trouble, but otherwise, second homeowner's insurance. OP says it was not a water slide. "I also had a recording of a video that shows the front door of my house. The kid was playing on top of my fountain for 3 minutes with no sight of adults until it toppled over." How old was the kid? The kid shouldn't have to be. The kid was 6 years old. A 6-year-old is allowed to play outside by themselves. They don't need to be hovered over. Maybe the video would help me claim that the adult should have had enough time. No, because a 6-year-old is perfectly capable of not being hovered over. "Have you had the fountain for a while or is it new? Have the kids climbed on it before? It's been there a long time and they've never climbed on it before. It seems like it would be tough for the parents to prove attractive nuisance. The fountain has been there for at least 5 years. I secured the top piece of the fountain and the second level with Gorilla Glue to ensure that the wind won't just blow it over, but never would imagine a kid would climb on top of it." Have you met a kid? They will climb on anything. Plus, the fountain was surrounded by rocks and flowers, and they'd have to walk over these before being able to touch the fountain. I don't think it's a good idea to have a fountain in your front yard. Fountain goes in the backyard where you can enjoy it, but it's also secure away from general public. All right, they updated it on November 15th, 2017, 3 months later. "Long story short, my neighbor sued me for $10,000 in damages. I also countersued and wanted my neighbor to reimburse me for any court paperwork I had to do, the fountain he broke, and the time I wasted. The judge concluded I was not responsible for injuring my neighbor's kid, and the fountain was properly secured to the best of my ability. I also showed him the video of the kid playing on top of the fountain before it fell. The judge told the parents that ultimately it was their responsibility to look after their kid, especially when the video showed over 3 minutes of the kid playing on top of the fountain before the collapse. They knew their kids were playing on the fountain, and they didn't tell them to stop." Oh, that was a new. Now, if they did know and they didn't tell them to stop, then yeah. She's not responsible for that. Judge awarded my request for the damages to my fountain. Now my neighbors are hating on me. Just weeks ago, my house was egged on Halloween, away from the view of the camera, so get more cameras. And it was the only house that was egged, of course. Very suspicious that I would be the one house that was egged and know the position of the camera, unless I have shown it to them like court. Are there any ways to protect myself? Yeah, get more cameras. Get more cameras. You need more cameras because they're targeting you. Alrighty. And now finally we have Made Me Smile. And it is this farmer caught his owl eating his eggs. That sounds interesting. So we gotta get bigger.
Owls have strong talons. This fellow
Oh,
here
he's so cute.
was eating my chickens.
Not
I'm
cute.
not gonna hurt him. I just had to grab him to get him out of this chicken house. And I can't get my finger out of these talons. This is fucking nuts. Ow, they're sharp. Talons are quite sharp. Oh, I got him. Ooh. Oh my God, he got me.
Why is that owl awake in midday? Smile.
I wish we could be friends. You're fucking cool. I don't want you eating my birds, however, sir.
Great newbie says you couldn't pay me to handle an
Look at this
owl like that.
amazing fucking owl.
Some people are braver than we are.
Now, what you don't want is you don't want that beak getting on you. If those talons are that strong, I can only imagine what the beak is like.
Chicken eating
Okay,
owl.
this isn't allowed, sir. This is not permissible. Now, fly, Mordecai. Fly.
Mordecai.
And off he goes.
I hope he doesn't come back because they have a habit of coming back and haunting you. Ugh. Duck Murky's answer to the top comment, but the top comment, they deleted their comment. The more you know. Also, that owl reminds me of the old honey badger memes because he obviously doesn't care. We'll be back for more chicken for sure. Humor Brain says all the chickens in the background are like murder. Affection says red rum. If you know, you know. If you're a Stephen King fan, you know. My cat is a brat. Says fly Mordecai to the sky. Somebody answered him. Sorry, there's deer in my yard and they're making me angry because they have completely ruined my little lilac bush. They keep fighting out there around my lilac bushes and destroying them. Believer of Humanity says full-time farmer and comedian. This guy's good. It was a cute owl, but he's also a murderer. All right, that's what I got. That's all I got today. We're gonna have to do makeup stuff this month because of the schedule change. My schedule change from Wednesdays to Mondays because I expected to have at least 2 extra days this month that I don't have anymore. And I lost another day. Well, I was gonna lose those days anyway, but that would have been fine because the kids would have been here. But since they're here on Mondays instead, now we have Mondays instead. So I'm going to have to do a makeup day of all the things that we Should have read in December and didn't. Which will be January 10th, I'm thinking, if not sometime before then, because that's the day I will have free. Unless I double up sometime before then, which is possible. All right, that's all I got. I hope you guys all have a good weekend. We're having Christmas this weekend, so hopefully I'll get a good present. Got good birthday presents. Played a new game called Cleverest. Highly recommend. Only because I won the first game. My husband even played it, which is surprising. He doesn't like trivia. He doesn't like a lot of the games. Chris still refused. My dad's wife's sister-in-law's partner is not a game player, which she taught health and physical fitness. So you would think that would be a game player, but no, never participates. Never participates in the games. But we had fun. We had a good time. We learned some things. I knew answers I didn't think I knew. So we're gonna play that tomorrow, I think. At least that. Plus, I got it because I think the little kids can participate because it's just a true or false game, and you have little tokens that say true or false. So kids can put in a token. They don't have to read. I mean, it says 7 and up, but I think it's the reading thing. That's why it says 7 and up. Just don't make the kids read. They can win all the games. It's fine. All right. I will be back on Tuesday. So have a good weekend. Take care of yourselves. Stay off the roads today because it's not good out there. I'm hoping we should check the temperature. We should check the temperature again and see if it got any warmer. It still says 31 there. I don't know why. Is it really 31? Is it really only 31 still? Because it was supposed to warm up to 35. Nah, it's 33. Now it's saying high 34, but it's 33, rain and snow. Isn't that fun? Until like 3, 4 o'clock. Between 3 or 4 o'clock it'll stop. So maybe by 5:30 when my husband comes home, roads won't be as bad. I'm hoping. All right, that's all I have. I'll see you Tuesday. Have a good weekend. Unless I get on, well, it won't be tomorrow, but Sunday maybe. I don't know. Maybe not. Bye. Bye, my biddies. Love you.